Hello, my friends. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you today with, as you can see, some of my family. So, no, this is so for their own protection. I have changed their names so that I can be more confused because half the time I call them by the wrong name anyway. My two youngest have really similar names, which was something we didn't really think about before we did that, and so now we get them confused all the time. So this is Branch. She's my third oldest daughter. This is Boo. She's my second to the youngest, and this is Mac, and she is my second to the oldest. So
I'm your third to the oldest.
Yes,
because there's
daughters.
Oh, okay.
I'm not including my son in that count. My son is actually the oldest, but he's not here today. So
we're not family anymore. We're your kids.
that's right. Don't you forget. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about one of our favorites of all-time animes, the Ouran High School Host Club.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it was I found this anime. And if you guys are having trouble hearing us, please let us know, because my mic is something of a noise canceling mic. So I want to, if you're having trouble hearing somebody, please say something in the comments so that we can so that we can make sure to speak up so that you guys are actually hearing what we're saying. But this really is one of our favorite animes. I watch this one all the time. It's kind of a weird thing for me when I know something is good when I can fall asleep watching it. I know that makes no sense, but it's like I hate Purple Valkyrie. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. When I really like something, it's like going to sleep with an old friend talking next to you, if that makes sense. Like I do the same thing with Star Trek and various other things. Like I like hearing that because one, it breaks up the background noise, and it just is it's comforting, and it's something that I won't sit there if I've listened to it or seen it a bunch of times. I won't necessarily sit there and like pay attention to it, because then I'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm still sitting up looking at something, and so anyway.
That's not me. I cannot go to sleep watching anything else. They'll say something relatively funny and I'll be like, what?
Hey, Darth Astor, how are you doing?
Wait, so Dad,
Glad to have you here.
Doesn't that mean every movie your favorite? You fall asleep once every single time.
I don't fall asleep that much. You're confusing me and your mother.
You're not wrong.
My wife has a real narcoleptic problem with sleeping through films. It's like, all right, guys, let's look at. And I'm like, well, why are we watching this as a family? I don't understand. Hey, Adega, how are you doing? Good to see you. And Dee Dee Myers is here. Thank you for coming, Dee Dee. I appreciate it. And it's the Catman, aka, because he likes doing cat videos on his channel. So if you guys like cat videos, everybody likes cat videos, you can go with Dee Dee Myers.
Is that who you were watching the other day? You were like, I can't stop watching cat videos.
I watch a lot of cat videos because it's just one of those things where you're just like, I can't believe that the ones that get me, totally off subject. I apologize, squirrel. But when they put the like a cucumber or something next to a cat, and they're like, boing, and it like freaks them out. I don't understand that. Anyway, but we are talking about Ouran Host Club tonight. I can't remember when. It's been several years ago when I found this anime. When do you remember?
Has it been years?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yep. It's been at least 2 years since I found it.
Well, then it would probably be like 3 for me. Because
you're just trying
to be... No,
seriously,
because I was more into the romance, and I'd just be like, oh, that one looks good. And then I told you about it, and then like 2 years ago, I guess, you were like, have you seen this one? I was like, yeah, I have, obviously.
I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't sound like me at all. I know. I did. James, my son, I should have changed his name, but anyway, he has his own channel, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, he does that. I'll be like, "Hey, James, have you seen this thing?" He's like, "Yeah, I told you about that last year," and I'm like, "You did? I don't remember that. I have CRS. Can't remember stuff. So No, but this is such a fun anime to watch. It's not a
Normal.
it's not a normal one. It is very shojo. And if you don't know what shojo animation is, it's basically kind of a love comedy kind of anime. But it has a lot of different like interpersonal relationship kind of stuff. And I'm sure I'm not telling anybody, hey butterflies, thanks for joining us. Yes, and this is such a good anime.
It's also a reverse harem, so it's a bunch of guys falling or like being interested in a girl, but this girl looks like a boy, so at first it catches them all off guard, and then she does some things that gets indebted to them, so she has to like repay them back and be a part of their club. It is so funny.
So before we go any further, spoilers. If you have not seen this anime all the way through or whatever, just understand we are going to be talking about talking about. I don't. Our broadcast, our internet must be doing something weird because I apologize for that. So, if you can't see us, just we're still here, probably talking to ourselves.
We left.
But no, this anime. We're going to go through the characters real quick. We're going to tell you what the characters are, and we're going to talk about which is our favorite characters. So let's see.
In the club, there are
the main characters are Tamaki Suo. He's the main character. Hana.
You got this.
I hear it all the time. You'd think I'd be able to say
it.
It's
Haruhi
Fujioka. It's spelled completely different
It's hard to say
than what the way they pronounce it. Kyoya Odori he's another one. Kaoru Hitachin.
You could have said Hikaru.
And Hikaru Hitachin. They are voiced by two different characters, actually, two different actors, but they sound very similar.
And they are twins.
They are twins. Then there is Renge Hatajukeji.
I think you slaughtered that one.
Slaughtered that one. That one.
Her name's Renge.
Renge. They really don't talk about her last name very much. And then we've got Takashi Maninozuka. And Mitsuki Haninozuka, or Honey. They refer to him as Honey. Let's see who else those are the main characters of the anime. Then there are some reoccurring characters that pop in and out. But it's not a touch screen.
Well, I couldn't.
So we're looking for
other main characters, but all of these guys just show up.
Yeah, those are the main ones. The ones that you're gonna see the most of. Yeah. And voicing those characters, this is one of the reasons I love this anime. One of the reasons I love this anime is they have some of the best English vocal actors doing this one. You've got the great Vic Mignogna, who you might know from Star Trek Continues. He actually plays Captain Kirk in Star Trek Continues. We've got playing Haruhi is Caitlin Glass. She's kind of a new one, but you hear her in a lot of different animes, and she does a very good job. Hikaru is played by Todd Haberkorn, which is one of my daughter Mac's favorite vocal actors. We've got playing Kaoru is Greg Ayers. And one of my favorite vocal actors. He is in so many different animes. I'm sorry, I just moved my screen here. And that is J. Michael Tatum. He plays the character of Kyoya Odori. I love him. He also plays the cat or the fox in Kama-sama Kiss, which is another one of the ones we're going to be doing a show on. We've also got Lucy Christian. She plays the voice of Range. Then we've got Ranka Fujioka, which is Haruhi's dad. That's another character. And they're played by Michael McFarland. And one of my all-time favorite vocal characters for anime is Christopher Sabat. And he plays the voice of Ritsuku Bossa Nova.
You only see him like twice.
Yeah, you see him twice. He's in 2 episodes,
Oh,
and his
that's
name is
awesome.
not Bossa Nova. They keep calling him that throughout the whole show, and he keeps getting upset at him and stuff. His name is Casanova, actually, and they're like, Casanova? And he's like, Bossa Nova? Anyway, he is
Such a
really
good
funny.
character.
Yeah, a good character, good vocal actor. Yes, he also does the voice for All Might, if you are a fan of My Hero Academia.
Or a bunch of others.
Or a bunch of
He's
others. Yeah,
such a
he
good
is very versatile, and he's all over the place in anime. So what we're going to do here is so if you guys had to pick a character, and we'll start over here with Branch, who is your favorite character or character? I guess with the twins, you could go 2 on that one, but like, who's your favorite characters in this?
The twins.
The twins?
100%.
The Hitachi twins? Okay.
Mhm.
Why?
They're so funny, and they just kind of like their teamwork.
Yeah.
They never fail to make me laugh.
They remind me a lot of the twins in the Harry Potter. They're troublemakers. Fred and George.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
they do remind me very much of that. So they are a lot of fun to watch because they just and their character arc is really fun because you see them kind of further on, and then that's one of the things about this anime that's really great is it starts at a future point, and then actually almost as the story progresses, you go backwards and forwards in the story, so you're getting aspects of their lives, and you're seeing how they were as opposed to how they are now, and how they all came to be part of this host club, and what was the genesis behind the host club. And it really is a lot of fun to watch what happens. This is probably one of the funniest animes that I have ever watched, and I watch it over and over and over again because
And
of
it just
that.
gets funnier.
Yeah, I mean, so the basic storyline is.
Wait, hold on. Keep going. We
Oh,
only
that's
got
right.
one favorite character.
That's right. I'm off on another 10. Thank you. I need to have her be my producer. All right, but who's your favorite character?
The twins.
The twins
The
again?
twins!
Oh, well, then I'll just go. Mine are the twins.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not so much like Kaoru, but I love Hikaru. He's my all-time favorite character, mostly because I want him and Haruhi to be like,
Oh, yeah,
the
like on
couple,
their
the
date.
love
No.
interest. I love them so much.
No.
And he's such a good character. And then with his brother, he's just so funny. It kills me.
And I
But
said I like
a
them.
close second is Tamaki, the blonde.
Okay, yeah.
Love him
All right.
too.
Why do you like them?
Just because they're so funny. Like,
That's what she said. Oh, no, they are
No,
funny.
just like, remember when like they get in the fight, and they're slinging stuff all around the room, and then they throw
You just hear them like
yeah,
throw
and they
us.
throw Honey Senpai, and then
I forgot that they did that.
what's his name? Mori Senpai.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, and then Mori Senpai goes in, and they throw him too.
Do they? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you kind of
Oh,
see it in the
who's yours?
background. You're just my favorite. God, it's kind of a toss up for me. Between Tamaki and I just lost his name.
Is it-
The sorry, I'm gonna have to pull up their
is it
characters here
Kyoya?
again. Yeah, Kyoya.
Yeah.
So Tamaki and Kyoya, I really, it's probably Tamaki, but Kyoya's right there. Kyoya is the calculating one in.
He's a calculator.
No, he's not. Adega. This is found on right now. You can find it on Hulu. I know for sure. I think they have it on Crunchyroll as well. I know those are at least 2 services that they have it on. I'm not sure if they've got it on others, but they've got it in English on Hulu. I
They
know
did
that.
have it on Netflix. I know that for sure. but they might have taken it off already. I
Yeah.
know that was one they were going to get rid of.
Because things come and go, you know,
Yeah.
on the different services so fast. But yeah, it is. You will laugh almost from the beginning. This is if Hollywood needed a lesson in how you do comedy, how you do romance interactions with not only transgendered characters, but there's also kind of a hint of a homosexual tension kind of thing in this between the Hitachi twins and stuff, and it is they call it brotherly love, and it's forbidden a brotherly love.
It's really weird towards the beginning, but as
Yeah.
you go on, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't that weird anymore.
Yeah, we get it. And so, but it really is great for that because it incorporates those things that Hollywood thinks are the most important things in the world. And yet it doesn't like beat you to death over the head. It just is like, hey, that's just how it is. This is just people in their lives going around, and there's no agenda. There's nobody pushing anything. So there are no, just as long as there are not. So Adega is saying, oh, I got to get my mouse over here. Adega is saying, just so long as there are no naked vegetable pickers. That's right. Okay, I need to explain that comment for people who are like, what?
Yeah, I left
Can
for
I-
no reason. I don't even know
Can
what
I have the backstory, please?
Yeah, my daughters are like, what are you people talking about?
I
all day?"
What?
I laughed even though I didn't know what was going on.
If you've ever seen the anime Food Wars, then you know who I'm talking about. There's a character in there who, like, he's just naked all the time. It's just there's no particular reason for it. He's just naked all the time. And then when he's out in the garden, like he's wearing like a little towelette thing in the front, with like it's a traditional Japanese kind of undergarment type thing from like samurai days and stuff. And I can't remember where me and Adega were talking about that, but we were talking about that particular anime, I think on a live stream or something. But we got talking and we're like, yeah, that's a little awkward and stuff. But yeah, so I mean, there are some more adult themed animes out there. And I won't talk about them here with my daughters because that would be awkward. I already had one awkward conversation at the dinner table with my family today.
You really put your foot in your mouth.
That was not my fault. Anyway, so
I don't know about that.
that was you guys. You started that. It was girl stuff.
And you most definitely finished.
Yes, I did. I did do that.
Okay, back
Sorry.
to
Yeah, we're discussing family interactions here. But no, so this show, so if you guys had to pick an episode, like one that just stands out in your mind that you think, I want to go watch that episode. If there's one out of all the others, can you think of, let me pull up the list here and you guys can look for a second. But
we just watched it upstairs before dinner, actually.
and you don't have to say
What?
the name. You can just describe it for those who may have not seen it anyway.
It was when my ship became reality. So
that's Hikaru and Kat.
vacation, and this old friend of Haruhi comes, and oh yeah, yeah, okay. Anyways, and then Hikaru comes and he gets all jealous and he doesn't really know why, and everyone else does, and just they go out on a date after that, and it's just so fun. And a lot of character building for Hikaru, and you just see how good of a person Haruhi is. So I loved it. I can watch it over and over.
Guy, when the blonde hair guy.
Tamaki?
Yeah, when he's like, I don't think the bus can take so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he tries to butt in on the date so many times. And at the end, he's like crying, hiding behind a pole. He's like, that looks like so much fun. Because
he's got deep-seated feelings for Haruhi as well. He won't admit to. He tries to make it like he's a dad figure in her life to try and make sense of the feelings that he's feeling for her, because she dresses like a boy. And everybody at this school that she goes to, the Ouran Academy, thinks she's a boy. Because her hair's so short, she dressed in like boyish clothing, and she doesn't care. She's just one of those people who doesn't care what people think or what. I mean, and it's really funny that way, and that's how she ends up in the host club in the first place. So let me, for those of you who haven't seen it, I want to explain this
Wait,
to you.
hold on. Favorite episodes, and then we'll come back.
No.
Also,
Because people might be like, how did she even?
Okay, but we've
Guys,
got to come
she
back
broke
to
the
it. You
vase.
got to
Yeah,
finish the
no,
question.
No. We will come back to favorite episodes.
She broke the vase. That's how.
Yeah, she goes into a room looking for a quiet place to study. Music room 3, which becomes like notorious for this show. And
she
she
does not find a quiet
place.
To study.
She
No,
finds
not at
the
all.
Ouran host club, and they're all just like, hello, you're the smart commoner. They keep calling her a commoner because this is an academy for uber super wealthy people, like mega wealthy people. And they build relationships for their families, companies, and stuff at this school. So it's basically just a high class prep school. But it is so funny because they're like, Tamaki's just like, so what kind of boy do you prefer? And she's awkward because she's like, I don't know what's happening here. And it's just, anyway, she's trying to get out and get away, and she can't get out the door and stuff. And they're just kind of talking to her, making everything really awkward. And she backs up and bumps a vase, which falls and shatters on the floor. Well, this was a vase that they were going to auction off for 8 million yen.
That's a lot.
And so, like, she ends up owing the club and having to. So to pay them back, she becomes a member of the club, but as their lapdog. Like she's going to run around and do errands for them. That actually changes with that first episode. She becomes something else to them. They still think she's a boy. They don't figure out that she's a girl till
the end of the first
the end of the first episode.
Maybe,
I think it's the second episode before
be.
they figure out she's a girl,
or at least all of them. They learn one by one,
which is
throughout
funny because as each one of them realizes she's a girl, they turn on a light bulb in this chain of light bulbs and stuff.
And when the last one's lit, it lights up into the
Yeah.
word in Japanese female.
For female. Yeah. So it's like, and they're all like, oh.
And obviously Tamaki's the last one.
Tamaki's the last one.
And it had to be spelled out in front of him.
Well, he sees her undressing because she got something spilled on her, and he walks in to be like, hey, what are you doing? He drops the curtain. Like, so honey, you're a girl?
It's so funny.
Vic Mignogna as Tamaki is so good. He, for those of you who don't know where Vic Mignogna else you can find him in anime, he plays one of the main character voices for
Describe it to me.
I
got you.
It's somebody in the chat probably can help us out here, but
I just offered to help you out.
no, I don't think you've actually seen it. It's where the two boys are brothers, and the Full Metal Alchemist. Pardon me, there. So
I could have helped you on.
okay. Well,
I watched most of it.
so yeah, he plays Ed on the Full Metal Alchemist. He is one of those characters, and his vocal work in this is. They're all good, but his is just phenomenal, just stellar. He kind of makes this whole series. And apparently Adega says he's in Dragon Ball. I haven't seen a lot of Dragon Ball, so that's one I'm not familiar with. But
that's like a decade long. And if you have like a decade,
this
just
is
to watch.
That never ends. No, but
I've heard it's really good though. So.
My problem with, and I'm going to start saying this in every single anime stream, I think. Why don't they finish anime? Japan, why don't you finish anime? Now, Adega's going to get mad at me because I tell him he needs to end books all wrapped up in a nice little neat package and stuff like that. I don't like to be left hanging.
Me neither. I have to have it all right there.
But the animes are terrible because they'll be going along. I'll just really get into them. Or you'll be like into the second season, and then it's just like done. And it's like there's no closure. There's like, did you guys not know you were losing your show? I mean, how do they do that in Japan? It boggles my mind. I wish somebody would explain how Japanese television works. Is it just like, hey guys, thanks for finishing the season, get out? and then they're just done, and they don't realize that they're not going to get any more seasons. Because I don't know how many animes I've started where I love them, they're so fantastic, and then they just stop, like in mid-story, no explanation, no continuation.
Or you find out something super good and then they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay.
We're not going to finish that.
Dad. So have you fallen for me yet? You wish.
Oh, her attitude
Yeah.
Tamaki.
is so great.
Yeah.
And the fact that she doesn't care about anything. Sorry, we're talking about the main character again.
Haruhi.
Let's just go
Fujioka.
back and forth.
Yeah.
But
Not that we're going to confuse anybody.
no,
It's something-
absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just so well suited for Tamaki because he's just overbearing, and then she's like, I don't care, and then he goes off and pouts, and it's so fun.
She's just like in a corner.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then what now I forgot his name.
Oh.
Which one? Who?
The
Tamaki?
glasses.
Tam-
Mhm. got this. Your favorite.
Kyoya.
Yeah, and then Kyoya has to pick up the pieces and make it all better.
Because Kyoya is this super smart, organized, keeps track of everything, basically runs all the finances for the club.
He also sells stuff.
Yeah, and he sells their stuff. Like he'll
Takes
auction
pictures
off
of
their
them.
takes
secretly
pictures and
pictures,
sells them
sells
like to
them.
make money for the club.
He's also Tamaki's best friend.
Yeah, best friend.
So they opened the club together, and they are second years, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of funny because
Hani Nozuka is a third year, and so is Mori Nozuka. Mori Nozuka, yeah. They're always together. Those two are like their families are like
They're
super
cousins.
friends. They've been together forever. But yeah, they are fun. I think Honey probably my least favorite character, but he does have some really funny moments.
Mhm.
He's the boy Lolita of this particular cast.
And he actually looks like a little boy.
He
Yes.
looks
Very
like
short.
he's like, how old would you say? 6?
Yeah.
And he acts like it too, which was a little annoying.
But he's a third year.
But
But he's older than
17
most of
years
them.
old in the actual show. He's 17, but he just looked really young, which ends up playing into his character later on. You find out that it's caused him all kinds of issues with his family and his brother. And there's, like I
and
said,
the sweet
it goes
tooth
on, and you find these characters at the beginning, and then they basically build the characters one by one, and they intermesh them, and you find out how they became connected, and you just fall more and more in love with each one of these characters. It is storytelling done in just an absolutely fantastic way.
Mhm.
They are so good, and the humor just keeps it all flowing and meshed together, and you just enjoy every minute of getting to learn who these characters really are. So now that we've kind of given you the background, we're going to go back into what we were doing before. So favorite episodes. Why don't you go, Boo?
when the Hikaru brothers are fighting.
Oh, okay.
So by the way,
So explain the episode. Tell us what happens.
so like they get in a fight because he
Do you need some help?
yeah, what's the main character?
So she
Haruhi.
how did
How did
he
he? So how did he? So they play this game. They put on these twin hats so you can't tell which way they part their hair. And say which one. Try and guess which one is Hikaru. And because she could tell them, and she actually like to like something about.
Yeah, she's like, you guys are totally different, and then
So the-
somehow
and then,
that just set them off.
well
on their
she
little
says
game.
that
Hikaru.
you're more like
manly or
or
something.
you're more like blunt. She tells one
You're
of
more
them
like
they're
a
more
shadow.
blunt, yeah, and stuff, and the other one starts laughing,
Yeah.
and then they start arguing about, well, absolutely identical, which becomes a huge part of their character arc. They kind of become very introverted early in life and only depend on each other because they feel like people judge them because they're basically clones of each other
They've been told that all of
yeah,
their life,
all of
and
their
so
lives.
kind of just
It's like
stuck
him.
with them.
It's like him.
and stuff. So anyway, they end up fighting because they want to go see Haruhi's house. They want to go and visit her at home. And she's just like, no. And then they're like, well, that's how they end up playing the which one is Hikaru game. And then that starts the argument. And then, so this whole episode, they end up fighting.
Oh, and the next day,
They come to
they come
class.
to school. Haru, Hikaru
Hikaru.
comes to school with pink hair, and
Kaoru.
Karu
comes with blue.
comes with blue. And Karu is saying, "I had a nightmare last night. I went to my hairstylist and dyed my hair pink,
They
and
just
it was so scary, something that I woke up screaming." And the other one just kicks over his chair and he falls to the ground. And then he goes and
They just go
and
at
grabs the other one and makes him hit the wall. And then they just start flinging stuff all around.
Yeah, like this. You see them standing on opposite sides of the room with just stuff flying, like things that should not be able to be thrown are flying back and forth. It is really funny.
Oh, and Honey Senpai sees his bunny go, so he goes and grabs it, and then he gets.
and that's how Honey gets thrown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but then it happens in the lunchroom. Like he throws something trying to hit Hikaru. Hikaru throws something trying to hit Karu in the face, but then Karu grabs Tamaki.
Isn't Tamaki trying to stop the fight?
Yeah, he uses him as a shield and then moves him away, and they start feeding things, and then Hikaru yeets, and it's just so hilarious.
At the end, they Haruhi
They did it
gives
again.
in, and
She's
she's
like,
like,
if you two don't stop this,
I'm
I'll
not
never
gonna-
let you come to my house. And they both are like,
Oh.
so we can come to your house then?
If we make
And it's
out,
it's been all a scam. They were just acting to fighting with each other so that she would say that they could come to her house. It is really funny.
it was.
It's just, yeah. I mean, it's a clever way, and it shows you how funny these two twins can be together and
How
stuff,
far they'll go to play a
Yeah.
game, and they'll play
to
games
get-
on everyone.
and to get what they want.
Mm-hmm. All right,
oh, and
Bree?
I think
So, Bree?
before that
No.
starts, they were throwing, and then you see like Honey Senpai on the tower of all the stuff that they were throwing,
Oh yeah, it
and
builds
then
up.
she gives in and says that.
Hmm.
Okay, Brian. Branch.
Oh, Branch,
See,
she's
it's not so
okay.
easy, is it?
Well, at least I'm not the one that like leaked my name or anything like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Branch.
I
what's your
accidentally said
favorite?
her name on air one time. So
Or twice, or like 3, 5, 10.
5 million. It's
Yeah,
okay.
The whole internet knows my name now because you've said it so much.
well, you should feel special.
All right, Branch, can you?
All right, so my favorite episode is when they're trying to figure out Haruhi's fear, and she's just like being like, "Oh, this doesn't bother me," and then
Nothing bothers her.
yeah, it's like nothing bothers her, and it bothers the rest of the club because they just spend like basically the rest of the day trying to figure out her fear.
Like bringing her snakes,
guys,
taking her to a
guys.
cave, and a bunch of stuff, just trying to scare her. And the twins actually get bored of it because they can't figure it out,
Well,
and it's so great.
I have something to say. Remember?
Shut up, you people!
What's it? Galasters. What's his name again? Galasters.
Kyoya.
Kill
So
you.
yeah, remember when he's like, and I have a reward, and he shows pictures of Haruhi in middle school, and Tamaki's just like
Oh
trying to
yeah,
follow them when he's doing them. So he's like,
what
when
he
he
does
puts them away.
sometimes. But at the end, you figure out what her fear is, and they do stuff with that too at the very end. Anyways, how you can keep going, Brianna. I'm
Yeah.
so
No, it's just-
sorry.
Can you tell what Tamaki is doing when they find her when they come in the room?
Wait, just tell her.
That was just like my favorite episode, honestly. It's just me being scared of basically everything just makes me want to be her. I'm like, just want to be her because
She's afraid of roller
Dark.
coasters, fun, caves,
Okay.
cars,
Oh, she's afraid of every bug except the butterfly.
small animals.
it's actually not true.
I mean,
Almost true. Like literally, that's.
if
all
they're
I
big
know.
butterflies, I don't like them.
It gets a little too scary for me. What's your favorite?
Yeah, I don't know that I have a favorite
You
on
have
this.
to.
It is so.
It's a must.
I because I rewatched it this week while I was on the truck. I think it's kind of a strange one. It's the challenge from the Lobelia's Girl Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love it because of the way that this girls' academy is portrayed. They are like super feminists and like they hate men and
Really
no men don't need, I
annoying.
mean really awful.
Think that
And
women
I'm
are
just like
superior in every way.
they get modern day feminism perfectly nailed on the head, and it is just so hilarious. There is one point in the episode where the Lobelia's Girl Academy has come into the host club, and they're basically declaring war on the host club because they think they're misogynist men and who just
And
get girls to fawn over them because of male whatever. Male tricks. And it's so funny because like they're like, we're club is named the Zuka Club. And then there's this dead silence, and the Hitachi twins just go, and they're falling all over the ground, just rolling around like, that is the stupidest name I have ever heard. I can't believe you just. I mean, it is really funny. And then they're just like, "Okay, you could leave now. You're obnoxious," and it's just.
we're bored.
And so I love the portrayal. There's actually 2 episodes where the Lobelia's girl school shows up, and both of them are really funny. And at first I really didn't like those episodes, but the more I've watched them, it just absolutely shows how horrendous women's liberalism has come, or women's lib. It's like it's not at all about what it used to be about. It's just about like womankind are so much better and we don't need a man. And they're all proud of that fact.
But
and,
it brings comedy to it.
Yeah, it makes it funny.
Oh, at the
And
end
they make fun of it like the whole time. It is really great.
At the end of the first episode, when you see them, they're just like twirling out of the room, like
Yeah, they're always
and
dancing.
then you see a monkey go, ah! And then they just all slip on a banana.
Yeah, there's a lot of banana peel slipping going on in this series. It's funny. It's out of place most of the time when it happens, but it's just that physical comedy that kind of puts the exclamation point. It reminds me very much of like the 60s and 70s comedy I grew up watching. Like, with the Muppets and stuff like that, where it's goofy comedy that doesn't really make sense, but like it makes sense because it's just funny.
Don't they find out like how he is actually a girl? So then
they find that out like as soon as they see her.
Yeah.
Wait,
and then they're just like
Glasses on that.
They keep calling her Maiden,
and they try to get her into going to their girls' academy. They're like, we have to rescue you, fair maiden, and they don't.
Yeah,
because she doesn't need rescuing.
Because she likes where she's at. She doesn't care about all that girls' by stuff. And her dad is a transvestite.
Oh my gosh, I love
a cross-dresser.
him.
Yeah,
So
and like I said, I guess he's not transvestite. He is just a cross-dresser, and he's and like there's another cross-dresser that shows up that like he worked with and stuff. And yeah, also another funny character. Like I said, that's just. It's done in a really humorous, fun way. Because when you first get introduced to Haruhi's dad, they're at her house, and and they're like Tamaki is paying respects to Haruhi's mother's shrine in the house, and then like he tries to get up or something, and she slips, and he falls, and Tamaki ends up on top of Haruhi. Just as her dad walks in the room, and there's like an announce in the background that's just like, and at that moment, his dad comes home, and he's standing there dressed like a woman and stuff, and like he's like, this is not what it looks. Tamaki's like, this is not what it looks. And his dad doesn't say anything, just walks over, grabs Tamaki, and goes, bang, and slams him into the wall, and Haruhi goes, well, it sounded like he hit really hard. It is so
when he's
funny.
like, Tamaki, stop. when he goes, Tamaki, stop growing mushrooms in the
Oh
someone
my
grabs
gosh,
it.
what Tamaki comes up with, like he makes his own hamster cage because he's sad. He grows
I'm just an
mushrooms in her
inquisitive
closet. Oh, what else does he do? He's
This was another one of this
Just
would be
eating
tied for
noodles.
my favorite episodes when he meets her dad and stuff because then her dad's like, or she's like, so how was work today, Dad? How are you feeling? He's like, oh, my arm kind of hurts. Like I got into a fight with an obnoxious little pest. It's the arm that he threw Tamaki into the wall with. And so it's just
and so from
yeah.
that point on, Haruhi's dad hates
doesn't like
Tamaki.
Tamaki because
It's so funny.
Guys,
And
then like Haruki's dad goes, oh, I think I could use some hot tea, and I keep forgetting his name. Tamaki's like, oh, where's the kettle?
Where's the kettle? Do you use firewood? How do you burn this thing? He's like,
he steps on him and he's like, oh, well, I think I found a pest or something like that.
at the very beginning, what sets this whole thing off is Tamaki has a dream about going and visiting Haruhi at her house, and it's just total poverty.
Oh.
Like she has broken cups that don't match, like on a matching set or anything. She's like skin and bone.
We've been starving for 3 days.
and saving this like little food.
so that we could give you some fancy tuna. That's not fancy tuna.
He wakes up,
saying like, sorry, that's not fancy tuna. There's no by means fancy. And all his maids just hear him saying that.
Yeah, so
from downstairs.
he wakes up and he calls everyone in the host club. And does he? I can't remember it
He
precisely.
puts up on the conference call
No,
so
he
that
just
they all end up at her house to
He
make
just
sure
calls
she's
glasses called everyone.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wouldn't just call him glasses. I can't remember.
But yeah, and
Sure,
then
yeah.
he kind of trips over himself the whole time that he's there. Like, oh my gosh, do you use firewood to burn this? Or it's okay, don't ask for tea. Like, he's just trying to make everyone be super duper careful around her.
Yeah.
Just in case.
And then
because they live in lower class circumstances and they're like these guys don't understand
Anything
anything like that because they've all grown up just fabulously wealthy, and so like they're trying not to say. I don't want anybody to say anything about mentioning that they live in a hovel while she's staying here. And she's standing behind him and he's like, well, it's too late for that.
Get out. Go.
So anyway, so I mean this really is probably one of the best examples of a good shojo manga or shojo anime that you can go. You can watch this with your kids, with your family. It's funny. Like I said, there's nothing in this is like really inappropriate or anything like that. But there is some subject that is like, that you could end up like talking to your kids about something that's necessary. Because especially in today's world, the world we live in, there's a lot going on, and it's better that you have those conversations with your kids from you than with other people that might tell them the wrong thing. So
it's also one that doesn't just focus on romance. Like they're not all fighting over her or anything like that. I mean, Tamaki kind of is overprotective, but it focuses on a lot of things, and I thought that was really cool. But it still like kept the interest going. It was
Yep. No, and it really is a lot of fun from beginning to end. Every episode has something great about it. They're all worth watching. This is definitely a series that if you have not seen it, you should go see it. Go find it on a service, find it on YouTube. Because you will be definitely glad you did. I like all different kinds of anime, but I've really started to get more into the shoujo anime because it's just the stories end up being a little bit deeper more often than not. You end up kind of really getting more. It's just how many different fights can we have in this one? So I tried watching One Piece and I liked One Piece. It was good, but like it would take 4 or 5 episodes to get through one fight, like to beat one boss. and like everybody gets killed in one episode, and then they all get up like nothing happened, and the next one it's like, oh, that really hurt. I died hard that time, and it's like so. I struggled with that anime. It's good, but it just wasn't my favorite in the whole world. But shojo gives you a lot more content that way. So I think that's where we're going to leave it for this week. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we go?
I had a few thoughts.
Okay.
Like when they meet the episodes where they meet the dad, that's like, oh, so that's how she handles Tamaki so well, because like Tamaki and her dad are like so similar in so many
they
ways.
are pretty similar, yeah.
And oh, with that Tachin brothers and Tamaki,
Oh.
they're just like, don't insult her, and everyone else is like doing nice things, and like they're like, don't do that, and then it turns out being good, and they're like, why didn't we think of that?
There's only one character that I was like, I can live without you. I don't love you. Bless you.
Yeah, I'm trying not to sneeze.
Wait.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry though. Anyway, who is this guy? I don't know. He's like the goth club.
Yeah, the goth
Whenever
club
he
guy.
shows up, I'm always like, well, you know.
Kazawa.
But that's the only problem.
I thought he was kind of funny, actually, especially in the one where they're it's a Halloween one where they're trying to scare each other and stuff. But
Oh,
Adega is saying thank you, ladies, and old fart. I think he means you.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, pick on.
Anyway, thanks for being here. Next week, we are going to be talking about one of the most popular animes and mangas in the world. It has taken over like everything. This one manga has sold more copies than I think any other manga in history, and has outsold Marvel, DC, all the other anime or like comics out there combined. And of course, we're talking about Demon Slayer. So we will be talking about Demon Slayer next week. So I hope you guys will come. And oh, Lady Mist just got here. Oh, sorry, Lady Mist. We're ending it.
Close it up.
You can go back and watch it though. And
I
Shadow
need
Force 623, thank you for coming in. Sorry, you guys are coming in late. I'm sorry. But yeah, please go back and watch this again, so you can get in on the what we talked about tonight. It's a lot of fun. Please join us next week. We'll be doing this at the same time, and we will be talking Demon Slayer. So thanks for being here tonight, and we will talk to you guys next time. Thanks, everybody. Sorry, I'm gonna let my children wave at you guys while I try and find the way to get out of this, because.
It starts at 7 next week.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is it's 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. There's a yawning girl right there. So yeah, just depending on what time zone you're in. If you're in the UK, it's sometime. I don't know.
How
I think
do you know
they're
all of these at like 7 o'clock.
I think they're 5 hours ahead in the UK. I can't remember though. You'll have to ask Purple Valkyrie about that. Anyway, thanks for being here. Talk to you next time.
Bye.